name's Gord Cudney. I'm a lawyer here in Ottawa. My mom passed away 5 years ago, give or take, of breast cancer, and she had been sick for about 3 or 4 years. So when she passed away, we went through the process, set up the funeral, did all the things that were supposed to be done, and I frankly thought that, I'd come through it pretty well and went back to work and had looked it in the eye. But about 2 or 3 months later, I started to have trouble sleeping. Then from there, I started taking time off work, and then would go visit the family doctor, and he'd say, there might be something else going on here. And of course, I was embarrassed. Didn't want to address the fact that it could be a psychological problem. So continued to be in denial and say, no, it's fine. I must have. We'll do another test. We'll figure out what's wrong. So I missed 2 weeks of work, then a month of work. Then it started to be, more acute, anxiety attacks, panic attacks. I thought I was having a heart attack or things like that, or fainting, frankly. I had an issue at one point where I fainted at the office. And so when I saw a mental health professional, right away they said, you are suffering from acute depression and anxiety. And with that diagnosis, a plan was put in place, and the plan has worked.
My name is Gallison. I'm originally from Prince Edward Island, and I moved here about 15 years ago. We were always involved with sports. We were definitely a sports family. Kind of a story, I was born on March 23rd and actually in the rink watching my brothers play hockey on March 24th. I was scheduled to move to Toronto for my 21st birthday. The day that I was leaving to go to Toronto, I was in the living room, in the kitchen with my brother Brent. We had a funny card that my brother and my mother and I gave to each other throughout the years. I still have the card. We gave it to each other for everything. Birthdays, Valentine's Day, Groundhog Day, and there was just always some little funny note or something. There was even ketchup spilt in the card one time. When I left him that day to go to the train, I wish now that he would have reached out to me and said, "Don't go," because I feel like I was the last one to see him, and I wish that he would have said something to me, like, "Don't go, don't move. I'm sick. I need help." But he never did. And so I left on the train with the card. And the next morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, I was very sick. Homesick probably already, but very sick and thinking about my family. And I opened the card, and inside the card it said, "This will be the last time for this card." And I didn't understand it until I arrived in Toronto that evening at 6 o'clock and got a phone call from my brother telling me that Brent had taken his own life.
My vision of a center of excellence is that wouldn't it be nice if you were suffering from mental illness, if you're suffering from depression, you walk into those doors and you have people that'll do all the blood tests that are necessary that may help you. They may do the brain scans that may help identify where and what your diagnosis might be. You may have genetic analysis done so that we will be able to select the proper drugs and treatments for you.
In 2000, I came to the Royal Ottawa and finally started dealing with my condition. What I got was the tools to live with my condition, to live with being bipolar. We need everybody to take on mental health. One of the great lines is a checkup from the neck up, and I think that's what we could consider. Our physical health is one thing, our mental health is another, and yet it's all one thing. The brain is just an organ like any other.
And so this is what I mean by a center of excellence, where you go in there and your problems are dealt with in a very systematic and a very particular way to get you better faster, to get you back into the workforce, and to kind of get moving with your life.
Providing the Royal Ottawa with the funds to, this is going to be cutting edge stuff that potentially no one else in the country is doing. And to go down this road is gonna, I think there's just no negative to following through with this, research area for sure.
I lost my brother 20 years ago, but I'm here now to tell people that I'm now just able to open up and talk about this. And so I would love to have people just to be able to open up to someone that may be suffering.